We've been told the Library of Alexandria burned by accident, a fire sparked by careless war, by Julius Caesar, by religious fanatics, by time. But what if that's not the truth? What if the fire wasn't a disaster but a ritual? What if the scrolls didn't just contain knowledge but names? Names not meant to be read. Names that could rebuild the world or unmake it. And what if a secret order lit the fire because someone had already started reading? This is the hidden war behind history's greatest loss, the fire that devoured Alexandria. At its height, the Great Library of Alexandria held nearly 700,000 scrolls, not just Egyptian or Greek, but Persian, Babylonian, Indian, even Atlantean by some accounts. But here's what's strange. The exact contents? Never cataloged. No master list survives. Even Roman historians disagreed on what was lost. Some say astronomical charts older than the pyramids, Atlantean code forms that mapped energy through sound, a single scroll known as the Mirror of Names. This scroll, referenced only once by a priest named Hecataios, supposedly contained the 72 names of power by which gods were bound to silence after Babel fell. That scroll was never meant to be copied. A fringe sect of Alexandrian scholars, the Whispering Order, was rumored to guard these scrolls. Founded around 190 BC, this order allegedly specialized in protecting forbidden texts, training scribes to resist mental corruption caused by living names, conducting rituals to anchor reality through symbols. One Roman account describes their hall as lined with red stone and braziers, where silence was enforced not by rule but by fear. The whisperers feared a prophecy hidden in one scroll. When the sacred names are spoken aloud, the walls of the world will melt. That's when the war began, not with swords, but with voices. Mainstream history says the library was burned by Julius Caesar in 48 BC, accidental fire during war. Later, by Christian mobs in 391 AD, or again, by the Muslim conquest in 642 AD. But this timeline makes no sense. The library was reported partially intact after Caesar, and eyewitnesses during the Christian sack claimed no scrolls remained to be destroyed. Why? Because the real fire, the one that devoured the dangerous knowledge, came earlier, a controlled burn, carried out by those who feared the consequences of what was inside. In 31 BC, under the reign of Cleopatra's son, an anonymous philosopher known only as Ahriman was brought before the library's inner council. He had deciphered the Mirror of Names. According to the diary of High Scribe Panos, fragmented but preserved, Ahriman said, "I spoke only 3 of the names aloud, and already insects walk backward. Glass refuses reflection. My dreams smell of burnt copper." He demanded the order destroy the scroll. Instead, they studied it further, and within a week, a librarian tore out her own eyes, saying the light beneath the ink is too loud. 4 scrolls burst into flame on their own. Statues around Alexandria began to weep black water. That's when the Whispering Order voted, not to save the library, but to sacrifice it. The fire didn't begin at the docks. It began in the lowest vaults where the sacred names were kept, sealed behind sandstone. 7 scribes, chosen by oath, lit black oil infused with myrrh, sulfur, and crushed sapphire, a mixture referenced only once in ancient Phoenician texts as fire that silences gods. The smoke was said to twist downward, not up. Scrolls didn't just burn, they curled, screamed, and vanished. No ash, no fragments. And as the vault burned, the sky turned brass red, and birds fell mid-flight. By morning, Alexandria stood, but its greatest mind vault was gone, by design. The world was told it was lost by war, a tragic accident, blame Caesar, or Christians, or Muslims. But some scrolls survived. carried away by the whispering order before the flames began. Rumors say a handful were smuggled to Elephantine Island, Mount Athos, and even beneath the Vatican. In 2014, a stolen manuscript from the Cairo Museum was found in Prague. It described a ritual to unburn a scroll. The ritual failed, but before the paper disintegrated, one line appeared black ink, forming from nowhere. The names still wait. The world still forgets. Burn again. The Library of Alexandria didn't burn in one night. It wasn't conquered. It was cleansed from within, not to erase human knowledge, but to seal away the divine. Because what lies in forgotten scrolls isn't just wisdom, it's power. And power, spoken aloud, becomes fire,